everybody. Hello, how are you? My name is Clare Bassett and I'm here as a TEFL teacher but also a yoga and meditation teacher. Thank Peter for inviting me along to talk to you a little bit about this. I'm going to talk about using short meditations in your classroom for more effective teaching and learning. And I want to thank you all for being here, and I know people have come from Cork and Limerick and got up on a Saturday morning and come here. My granddad used to make a joke that we're all here because we're not all there. But the other thing is that sometimes we're not all here either, and I'm sure you've all had that experience where you're teaching a group and they're not maybe fully present. So rather than having focused students who are really on board with your tasks, you're getting a situation where maybe they're worried about their host family, about what happened with their ex-boyfriend, about all these other things, and they bring it to the classroom. Or you have au pairs coming in and they've had a fight with the host mum. And you might spend half an hour of your class dealing with this or letting them talk to each other about it. And sometimes it can be a great opportunity to teach, just opportunistic vocabulary and they're obviously engaged with that topic, so go in with that a little bit. But if you have a group of learners and you're preparing for an exam, or you have students who really want to get on with the work and you have your own objective set, it can really take you on a sidetrack, and often it can be just a couple of people, and we all know that one student in a class can make a real difference in the dynamic. So I'm hoping that this very short technique that I'm going to show you today is going to really help you getting them not just physically present in the classroom, but having them emotionally and mentally present so that they're centred and focused, and that they're not inclined to go off on the tangents, and they're going to stay with you through the class. So as a TEFL teacher, I'm much more comfortable getting people to do things than talking. So I'm going to get you to do a short meditation, and I think we can learn a lot just by doing rather than just listening to someone talk about something. So we're going to start right now. I'd ask you to get very comfortable in your seats. Check that you have space to put your feet down, and if you can have your feet, your legs uncrossed and the feet flat on the floor, that's great. And then you can put your hands just on your knee, or if you want to hold them on the tummy. If you want to get really fancy schmancy, you can do the mudra. Just taking a moment then to just close your eyes. Anybody who's not feeling very comfortable with this is welcome to leave the eyes open and just observe. But I just ask everyone to be very still and quiet. And just taking that moment then to just bring your awareness into your body. And we're going to just start with the feet. So bringing your awareness right down to your toes, and without moving your feet, see can you actually feel your toes in your shoes. And then bringing the awareness up through the feet, into the ankles, the calves, the right leg and the left leg, the knees, the right leg and the left leg, the thighs, the hips. Feeling the body in contact with your chair, so feeling the lower back, feeling the back of the pelvis, bringing your awareness to your spine. If you can, feeling the tailbone and all the way up through the spine, up through the back of your hips, up through the back of your waist and rib cage, the back of your shoulders, in between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, all the way up through the back of the head. Feeling yourself lovely and tall in the chair, at the same time feeling yourself very connected to the floor. And taking a moment now just to bring your awareness to your thoughts. So just allowing yourself to think any thoughts that come into your head. It could be things about this morning, coming here. It could be thinking about if you're one of the speakers, giving your speech later. It could be thinking about the cake. Whatever those thoughts are, just letting them come and go. And often we spend a lot of energy and time thinking about things from the past, things in the future, hypothetical things that never happen. And for teachers, we think a lot about planning. Whatever those thoughts are now, I'd ask you to try and just be aware of your breath and let those thoughts go. You might find, especially if you have something going on in your own life, that you have a persistent thought that sits with you. And if you do, allow that to sit there, but still be aware of your breath. So you're watching your inhale and your exhale. And just bringing your awareness into your breath often means we start to breathe more deeply, which can help us feel calm and centered. We're just going to spend the next 30 seconds just watching the breath, allowing thoughts to come and go. And then just being aware again of your seat in the room, where you're sitting, feeling your body, noticing your breath. You can bring your chin down towards your chest, gently open your eyes, and coming back into the room. So I hope you enjoyed that nice meditation. And it's very short. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of equipment. So just to recap on what we did there, we started with the physical body. So people who've done, I know some people were telling me they did yoga before and bits of meditation. You'll find that that's a very simple one, and maybe you're doing a lot more at home. You can do it in silence without speaking at all, and that's great. But people who are beginners at meditation, it's nice to have something to focus on. So rotating the body, rotating the consciousness around the body can help to just give your mind something to do rather than thinking 100 thoughts at the same time. And then we went into bringing our awareness to our thoughts. And that's if people have a lot going on and they could be a little bit upset. That's when those thoughts come in. They go, okay, that's what I'm feeling today, but I'm going to let it go and move on. And I can be here in your class and listen to what you're saying. And then we went through the breathing. And the breathing is one of the nicest ways to connect mind and body and just to calm down. So it's very simple. Who's it for? So we have our lovely picture, and I think we all have an image of, monks on the mountain doing their meditation. A lot of us can't do that. We're not all gone off to be celibate and spend hours sitting on a hill. No, it's not going to happen. Meditation's not just for people who are in that sort of situation. It's for anybody. So it's very, very, very easy to do. You could even just do 1 minute if you wanted to. If you're teaching for an hour and a half, the 3-5 minutes that you spend at the start doing the meditation can set the whole class up to a different dynamic. So rather than thinking of it as a kind of a waste of time, it's actually really helping people to refocus, because when you're mentally present and aware, you're much more likely to listen, to be able to understand things and retain things. So we're all familiar with crashing, the affective filter, the idea of having emotional block and not being able to learn when you're upset. Just trying to clear that space. So think about defragmenting your computer. Just taking that time out to do that, it can really, really help. And I'm talking a lot about for the students, because I wanted to make it practical for you to use on Monday morning, but also really helpful for teachers, because we tend to be very stressed and a lot of thinking all the time. My do's and don'ts, I'd say don't be afraid to give it a go. Make it easy for yourselves. Give the students time to get settled. So if you just launch straight into it, they don't know what's going on. So maybe explaining what you're going to do with them first. And then insist on people staying still and quiet. So you might get people who are just not into this and they just don't want to do it and they think it's a waste of time. It's not that long in the class. If they're prepared to give other people a chance to do it, and if they see people benefiting from it, you'll find they might get on board. And they could be the person who's the biggest fan, who's kind of asking, can we do it? And then make it easy for yourself. So at the start, if you're not sure, maybe by reading a script. Somebody a question, yeah?
Do you do it every day?
The more you do it, actually, the easier it gets and the more beneficial, yeah. So you can, yeah.
Do you allow the students to take control? Do they through the process?
I haven't done that, but yeah, you could do, yeah. I teach yoga to kids as well, actually, and that's one of the best things to do with the kids is to get them to teach the other kids yoga. And it's great. You see them really what they've learned, and they're given instructions and copying what you say. So, yeah, I think that would work, yeah.
The language is very simple as well. It's all instructions. So.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know the teacher trainer meetings they say now do it in pairs to each other, but I don't think we have time for that. That's it. So I think that's pretty much me. Yeah, keep it short and enjoy it. So the other thing is, if you're coming in here and looking at this and going, "Geez, she's mad," and I wouldn't be into that at all. I think the students will pick that up off you. So there's no point in going in and trying to teach them. Whereas if you found that you enjoyed it yourself, then giving it a go. And it does, just think about the day when you're asked to sub and you suddenly have to go into a group and you've nothing planned and all your tricks coming up out of the sleeve. You don't need any materials. You don't need time to set up. You can, once you've done it a few times, I mean, it's very simple, as you said, like you could just talk them through it. And I think one of the other speakers is going to talk about visualizations, and that works very well with it as well, like eyes closed and visualize something for introducing a topic. So, yeah.